Welcome to Spotlight TV. I'm your host, Emily Zubi, and we have this amazing rock star today. And mind you, I was so blessed to meet this rock star just last year, and I feel like I've known her forever. Today on Spotlight, we have Jessica Cristobal, who is the CEO and founder of the Leading Ladies League, and an incredible, incredible woman, mom, wife to coach Mario Cristobal. We're going to talk about that. And welcome to Spotlight TV. I'm so happy to have you on.
Thank you, Emily. I'm so happy to be here.
Let's start with your story, a little bit how you got to Miami, a little bit of background on you.
Okay. Well, I was raised as an Army brat, so I've moved around all my life. But as a young adult, I decided I wanted to come to Miami, and that was in 2001. So I started like everybody does in Miami as a realtor.
And so true.
And that was short-lived, but I found my way living and enjoying life here pretty quickly, like most do, and ended up in publishing. And I was the publisher of a magazine called International Yachtsman Magazine, which was a sister publication from back in the day of two other magazines that were called Las Olas Magazine and Lincoln Road Magazine. So I got my feet wet in advertising sales and loved that, did that for a while. And then in 2009, launched Leading Ladies League.
Wonderful. Let's talk about that because I'm in love with the name and just with your energy and you and I both believe that we can all empower each other. There isn't any, what I love about us is that collaborative spirit. And you're like, do you know? And do you know? And do I know? And life is so much better that way. So let's talk about how you came up with the concept, the name.
Yes. So Leading Ladies League was born out of a love of sisterhood. I love my ladies. I love to be around my girlfriends. And so I actually was hosting a dinner party one night at our condo in Brickell. We didn't have children yet. And I had 4 or 5 girlfriends sitting around the table. And I paused and I looked around and I saw this one's a realtor and this one's a lawyer and this one is a yacht broker and this one's a doctor. And I thought, wow, there's so much power here at this table. We should be doing something that's this fun, but also giving back to the community. And I just had that light bulb moment where I just thought, I need to make this a project. And so Leading Ladies League was really born from that experience. And we partner with nonprofits in the community that assist women and children specifically.
I love that. And let's talk about the soiree that you do, because I actually got to attend and had so much fun and, great cause. Let's talk about that event. I don't know how many you've done.
So Glam Soiree was born, I started Glam Soiree, it was about 2015. We were living in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, because my husband, Mario Cristobal, was coaching at the University of Alabama. So because I have this network of coaches' wives always around me, I kind of have a built-in sisterhood wherever I go, wherever we would move. So in this case, we were in Tuscaloosa, and I was just needing some Miami vibes. And I decided I'm going to have a nice party. I'm going to invite all the ladies. I want them to come dressed in whatever they feel fabulous in. And we are going to partner with a charity, and we have vendors there. And it's a fabulous event. We have a DJ. People end up dancing. It's so fun.
What about some of the charities that you've partnered with?
So at that event specifically, that was a backpack drive. So that was kind of where it started. And here in Miami, the one that we did most recently benefited Voices for Children. And I sit on the board for Voices, so it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And it was just another fun way for all the ladies to come together, network, meet each other, come from different sectors in the community, and just have a great time.
That's amazing. We're launching now in February for the love of giving back. And the whole month of February is about the love for philanthropy. So I know we both love Voices for Children and so many other charities, but let's talk specifically about Voices and what you love about it, what the mission, and, for those that maybe are not familiar with it.
Yes, Voices for Children is such a special organization. So I was recently introduced to it. I've only been a member for just over a year, and my first experience with it was at the superhero luncheon that they host every year, their annual fundraiser. So I was a guest at a table there, and I heard some of these children who are facing foster care speak on stage, and I just thought, oh my gosh, there's so much potential there, and if they only knew how special they were. And I firmly believe that we have to pour into young people. So that was kind of my point of inspiration. And by the end of that luncheon, I was like, sign me up. I want to be on the board. I want to get involved. And really, I want to interface with the young people more so than just writing a check. I want to be involved. I want to get my hands dirty and go do activities and excursions and crafts, and I just want to be in a space where I can constantly remind them, like, you are enough, you're powerful, you're strong, you can do anything, and you can be anything.
And you're such a picture of that. You're such an inspiration. Let's talk about family. I mean, being a coach's wife, there's so much to it and a very demanding schedule. I know when I see you in season, but, how do you balance it all? Like, well, balance, is that, the key word here?
Yeah, I say that there is no such thing as balance, because when you're married to someone who is a high profile, high energy, high focused, super driven individual, their mission is winning. But that's something that drew me to him when I met him, because I want to be aligned with a winner. I think I'm a winner. You're a winner. So I want to be in a space where I'm constantly around people who want better for themselves. And so I love any chance that I can be around him and our boys, but I also have my own activities and hobbies that I do. So yes, balance is a kind of a myth in this industry, but it's okay. Like I always say I never get tired of him, because I'm always happy. I'm always happy to see him.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And I had the honor of actually meeting your parents. So the apple does not fall far from the tree. So how do you think the way you were raised and the values that you carry through into your own family?
Well, I was an Army brat, so I grew up moving around, and I saw my mother, about every 2 years help pack up and move the family. My father would often just go ahead and start the new job somewhere, because that's how it is in the military. So the parent, the other parent that's not deployed or having to go to the new mission, is there to pick up the pieces, get the kids ready to go, and move to the next place. So I would say that the football life has similarities to that. And so we grew up being very adaptable. And I went to Department of Defense high school. So it was like everybody in the school was from a different culture, which was great. It was a great experience to just be surrounded by just so many different kinds of people and cultures. And I love that about this lifestyle as well. And what a full circle moment that we got to come back to Miami, which is, again, full of culture and just vibrant communities.
I'm so happy you're back, because I got to meet you. Moving around is not easy. Yeah. I know I moved around a lot, and it takes a lot of flexibility and confidence, and always being the new kid in school and everything else. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Go for it. Don't let your fear of the what ifs get in the way, because so often, our fear holds us back from doing so many great things, and we just have to step out in faith and just know that we can do anything.
And you mentioned faith, because I love your whole philosophical approach to life. What do you think is the secret sauce to Jessica?
I'm definitely God-led and Spirit-filled. So I believe your inner voice is Holy Spirit. And so I try to tune into that. And there's not much that will stop me, or there's fear. Fear can only go so far when you have a higher power that's guiding you and directing you. And even when you have setbacks, or in our case, a devastating loss in a football game, or an illness, or anything that's just seems really major, you can do anything if you have that God base or that higher power that you can believe in and know that all things have a purpose.
That's amazing. One of my favorite quotes is, "Attitude is the difference between an ordeal or an adventure."
So,
And how you take that road, and also too how we show our kids. I mean, little did I know when I would say that, saying that, my son who teaches spinning class, he shares a lot of my repertoire. And I'm like, you got that material for me. He goes, I know, but I'm not always going to say that. But what do you think, like, what are your kids taking a page out of Jessica's playbook?
Well, I think, like you said, I think attitude is everything, and what you think about, you bring about. And I really try to instill that in them. Your whole life is one decision away from success or failure. And so you have to be very intentional with your decisions and who you surround yourself with. And, that's true for adults too. We have to be very conscious of who's in our circle. And so while I feel like I'm a very social person, I'm also very selective with who I want in my circle and in my space, because I have to protect this lifestyle and this life that Mario and I are building. And we, like I said, we want to win. And so you got to surround yourself with winners.
When you look at that vision board of winning, what would you say 2025? What's on it?
Joy. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's, I say winning, but that's not the same thing for everybody. And I'm sure Mario has his goals, and while I support them, mine are different from his. So, more time with family, just some awesome trips where we can actually spend more time together and create memories, and more experiences where I'm around amazing, powerful women.
So speaking of which, we are very proud to announce that Jessica will be our 50 Shades of Pink, our 12th annual 50 Shades of Pink event chair, Rockstar Awards. And right now, as we speak, the nominations have been made and they're being voted on. We will be announcing the honorees next week. And we're really excited. I mean, I've been doing this, 15 years, Miami Woman in Rock, and just the fact that that we have you as an adventurer. I'm so excited. I'm glad that you said yes. It's like I was everywhere on social. She said yes because just your energy, your enthusiasm, and and taking that on. So we have some footage. Well, here's your. This was our announcement photo, and I love this because you're like walking into 50 Shades of Pink with such confidence. This past November, we changed the timing, so the event is May 1st, and we have some video that we're going to show you just from this past year. The theme this past year was La Dolce Vita, and we transported everyone to the coast of Italy, and had the moped, had the photos, had everything, and it was just absolutely fascinating. This year, the theme is the Pink Passport, and we are picking the countries, but basically the idea of we're give you the passport to new heights, and everything about the experience, express some fresh, new, and look at this amazing adventure that we have. So we're so excited about what we're going to do this year with you, and with you at the helm. So congratulations.
Thank you
for saying yes, and we're just really excited.
I have to say yes to Emily Zubi. You are a rock star.
Thank you. Thank you. I think everyone needs to say yes.
Right? Absolutely. I agree.
We're doing that. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand sometimes, like, there's nothing else like Miami Woman of Rock, and that, we are, our premise is rock your health, rock the world. But, we have different ways of how we rock. So be it, definitely the idea of, a woman in business, a network of women in business that believe in giving back. But also we have like CEO circles that we do lunchtime labs, and, really believe in that Rockstar Academy of learning. And I know that that's something that you and I really share. Let's talk about learning and women and all the tools, because you have so many tools in your toolbox and I know you use them all and I'm learning from you. I mean, I really am. I'm like, when I do something, I'm like, how would Jessica do this? I'm like, and just kind of keeping up with the times, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I feel like, and I'm sure you're kind of aligned with this too. I'm always on a quest for more, and that's not material. That's more as a human being. So more health, more just success overall, more love, more spirituality, whatever that looks like. So I am constantly, even when I'm in my car driving, I'm listening to an audio book or a podcast that's just pouring into me to make me a better human being. And so I see that in you too. You're constantly on a quest just for self-improvement and just to become a better woman. And I love that about this mission that you've created. And you've just really been a beacon in Miami for leading women to greatness and gathering them in one space and just honoring them. And that's so powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's, the women that we honor, I mean, they're all such a wide gamut, right? From CEOs of nonprofits to leaders in the community to major philanthropists. I mean, last year we honored Jackie Nesbro's Latina of the Year, Maria Maloof, who also is a very big proponent with Voices as our Woman of the Year. But that legacy continues, and honoring women is really such an important part of it. And I mean, Miami Woman of Rock was just, born out of one of the most difficult times in my life. So to be able to turn the pain into purpose, that's what it's about. So when you think of learning, what would be either the last podcast that you listened to or book you read that you would say it's a must to listen in or read or tune in?
So, well, right now I'm taking a course to become a certified life coach. So that's kind of where my focus is right now. I've always been the go-to girl for my friends when there's an issue or they're looking for an answer for something. So I love to help people just kind of uncover the greatness within them, even more so than what's already there. So that's been my project. But a great book that I read recently was called Be Seen by Jen Gottlieb. And it's just really about, come out of the shadows. You were given a voice for a reason, and you were given the dreams that you have for a reason. And, we can let fear paralyze us and stop us and delay us from accomplishing so many great things. But what do we have to lose? Step out in faith and just go after whatever it is that you want.
Is there a particular setback in your life that you had your comeback from that you would say, here are the lessons learned? Because you have a real grounded wisdom about life. And, I know that, that along with that comes the lessons that you've learned.
I can't really, there's nothing that I really focus on that says like, that was yes, I've had horrible things happen in life. And I think everybody has trauma and things that they've experienced. I really believe that everyone has trauma. So everyone's operating out of a sense of how do we move forward with what we've been through. But, I refuse to dwell on anything that could potentially hold me back, because that's not productive. So yes, as a family, we've moved and had shifts in career and life and things like that. Specifically, there are things, sure, but it's just not something that I am going to let myself get held up on. Past is past. I'm all about moving forward.
Life is a forward moving game.
Yes.
And being able to do that. I mean, I've heard so many great quotes about that lately. It's like the review mirror is only for driving, not about life. And you have such a sense of positivity. I mean, it's the one thing that, you and I bonded immediately. Yeah. And I think we both share that. It's not glass half empty or half full. It's like, I'm so lucky to have a glass.
Yeah. And I always view it as it's overflowing. Like, we have so much abundance. And so we just have to focus on that. Like, I don't identify with victim mentality or, this is what happened to me. And no, let's go forward momentum.
That's it. The goals and the
Hmm.
positivity and the
Hmm.
energy.
Hmm.
And I mean, and I know your boys, they are like they're rock stars. I mean, they really are. What would you say is the one thing that you maybe really felt growing up from your parents that would be the backbone of, say, your value system, or, I mean, because I look at you as someone who just, you have it all together. And,
I
you
don't know
just
about
seem
that,
like,
but
you really just are so full of wisdom. What would you say would be those nuggets of either parental advice or, page out of your parents' book or any of that?
well, it's funny that you say that because I'm always seeking grounding. I am actually I have ADHD, and I'm always kind of floating, just on a Speedy Gonzalez kind of pace. So I'm constantly looking to ground myself. So I have a lot of therapies and things that I do. I do red light therapy, and I have to exercise and I have to get sunshine, and I'm constantly seeking warmth because I'm always cold because I'm always moving so quickly. Anyway, all that to say, my upbringing and my family really grounded me. My parents really instilled the value of faith, and that comes first, and then family comes after that, and everything else follows. So I think that's probably the backbone of who I am.
And looking forward. So 10 years from now, we're sitting here. What's happened? What would be that long-term vision?
Well, the Miami Hurricanes have won a national championship or two or three.
Go you.
And I don't know, just peace and excitement and joy and adventure. There's lots of images on that dream board that I want to check off, but I definitely want to keep working with young people. I love to pour into young women and just kind of be a guiding light and a kind of a big sis that can say, hey, I can help you. I'm a life hack. Use me,
Uh-huh.
So I definitely just want to keep working with people, and I want to have impact, influence, and just continue to move forward in that realm.
Speaking of which, you recently did talk to a very big group of young girls,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to catch a little bit of it. But let's talk about that,
Uh,
because I think it's that sense of giving back to our community, that love that we share. But I loved your messaging around it, and like, just tell us about that.
okay. So January is National Mentorship Month, and the Embrace Girls Foundation, who I've worked with before, called and said, hey, come speak to our young girls. And these are second through fifth graders, and they are in underserved communities. And it's an after school program that really specifically focuses on girls and just leadership principles, success principles, reading skills. They get to go on fun excursions and go to the theater and the museum. And they're just Velma Lawrence, who is the woman behind it, is just doing a masterful job of exposing these girls to a different way of life and letting them know that there's more out there. So I was so happy and honored that she called to have us come speak. And she didn't give me a topic, but I have some tricks in my hat. So I had them do affirmation cards. And so I do affirmation cards myself. I had a mentor many years ago teach me about that. So we all wrote affirmation cards. And we also did best self bingo. And so that was
Oh,
fun.
tell me
So
about that.
it was a bingo
I may
card.
have to use some of
It
these
was great.
exercises
It was
with the
great.
grown women. I mean,
It
it
was great.
works.
It was great. So it was a bingo card that we created, and it said things like zero doubt, or go for it, or no fear, or and it was just that was what was on the bingo card, and then they used little hearts to as their marker because Valentine's. So
Oh, I
that was
love it.
fun.
I love it. And the pressure I think that there is with the youth. I know I spoke at a career day for branches,
Mhm.
and one of the biggest, I mean, and we just had fun, and they wanted to hear about the TV days, and they had more questions about who I met than anything else. But One of the biggest things that I think the youth today struggles with is just that impact of social media and imaging. And the oh, look at me, I don't look like that part, or I can't be that, or I mean that the things that they struggle with are not necessarily things that we struggled with growing up. How do you address that, and did you come across that?
Sure. I think my main message for these girls is perfection doesn't exist. I think we need to erase that word out of our vocabulary because it's not real. And perfection is, there's nothing that's perfect. Not our looks, not life, not career, nothing. And so we can have greatness, but let's not use that word because it's just, it's too much pressure to try to live up to something that's not even real. And so I think that's a main message, a main theme that I try to convey to them. And also, we each have our own special gifts. And so what is your gift is not the same as mine. And I think it's just important that we celebrate the gift that's in each individual and just do our best.
The way you put that, to celebrate our gifts, I always think that you just have got to really look in the mirror and love who you see. But beauty is not about, what's on the outside. It's about that inner beauty, that soul, that inside out. And, I know that in my life, there were times when, I looked the part, but, inside I was not as happy. And, the best glow is happy. Nothing glows better than a woman that's happy and joyful and is not competing with others. And growing up, I used to say, how does an elephant push a peanut? Just forward. You've got to just push your own peanut in this world. And the minute that you start comparing, and that steals the joy. And being able to instill that in young women is really important. So I love the fact that you had that experience. And it's a beautiful one. When as you think of your coaching business and getting your certificate, I want to close with kind of your vision of what you'd like to coach women with.
Coaching is really it's less about advice, believe it or not. It's less about feedback coming from a coach. It's more about the individual discovering for themselves what innately they already know. And the coach is there to pull it out of them. And so I think all of us know deep down inside, like there's greatness in all of us. And if they don't know that, I would love to be the one that could help bring that out and let them know. But I think that's why coaching is inspiring to me, because it's just like, there's more. There's more with
you're going to make such an excellent, I just found out when we were at the event, recently with Sandy Cloud, who we love. Shout out to Sandy. But I just know that you're going to be amazing exactly for that reason. You don't have this predisposed, well, I'm going to teach that, or I'm going to give advice on that. You're going to, just empower someone to be the very best version they are of themselves. And, bravo, that's amazing.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Well, we thank you for being on the show. We're so happy that you're going to be our event chair, and we're excited about the things to come. Again, we've been talking to Jessica Cristobal, and she's a CEO and founder of the Leading Ladies League, and the event chair for Miami Women Who Rock. You're going to join us this week on Instagram and Facebook as we announce the Rockstar Award honorees. And make sure to get your tickets, because we will be sold out very quickly this year. And we have all these big announcements, but you want to get your pink passport and join us also on our website, miamiwomenwhorock.org, and want to share your IG so people can follow you.
Yes, it's Jessica Cristobal Official.
And she is official. She's beautiful. She's amazing, beautiful inside and out. I'm lucky to have you. Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll see you next week on Spotlight TV as we celebrate the season of giving back and philanthropy. Have a great